Hello and welcome to linear functions. We're going to continue talking about linear functions, and today we're going to focus on x and y intercepts, what they are and how we use them when graphing. So remember back to when we had the equation y equals mx plus b, or y equals 6x plus 5 in this case. What did this graph tell us? Well, this graph told us a slope and a y-intercept. In this case, the slope is 6 and the y-intercept is 5. And those were the two key components for us to graph the line. So we're going back to graphing, but is it the only way you can graph a line using slope-intercept form? No, there's other ways to graph a line, and that's what we're going to talk about today. What's the other way if we don't have slope and y-intercept? And so looking at this graph, we can see that we are going to be using x and y intercepts to graph a line. So where are the x and y intercepts? Now, if we're looking at this graph, we can see that the x-intercept is on the x-axis. So if I count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this coordinate is the x-intercept. What is that ordered pair coordinate? I would say that ordered pair coordinate is 6, 0. Okay, we can do the same thing when we're looking for the y-intercept. We would count down 1, 2, 3. Oh, there is the y-intercept on the y-axis. So then what is its ordered pair? It would be 0, -4. What do these points have in common? What do these ordered pairs have in common? What they have in common is that they both have a 0 in their coordinate. The y-intercept has a 0 in the x part, and the x-intercept has a 0 in the y part. So, quick ways to graph a line would include using y equals mx plus b, which we have talked about. But today, another quick way to graph a line is by using those intercepts. If we know what the x-intercept is and the y-intercept, then we can graph a quick graph. So the x-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis. To find it, make your y a 0. Substitute a 0 back into the equation and find your x-intercept. To find your y-intercept, it is the point where it crosses the y-axis. To find it, substitute 0 back into the equation for x and solve for y. So let's go ahead and do a couple of examples of how to find x and y intercepts. So here, find the x and y intercept of the equation and sketch it, use it to sketch a quick graph. Okay, so first of all, we need to know what our x and y intercepts are. So if I'm looking for my x-intercept, remember what we do with that is we plug 0 in for y. So take your equation and plug 0 in for y. So 2 times 0. 2 times 0 is 0. So this turns into 5x plus 0. I don't need to write the plus 0. And then divide both sides by 5. And our x-intercept is 4. Now we don't write that as just 4. We write that as 4, 0 because we plug the 0 in for y. All right, so that's our x-intercept. Now, if we want to find our y-intercept, we would then plug in 0 for x. So we do the same thing here, but we plug 0 in for x. 5 times 0 plus 2y equals 20, always going back to the original equation. 5 times 0 is 0. Plus 2y equals 20. Divide both sides by 2, and we get y equals 10. Now the ordered pair for that, which I require, is 0, comma 10 because we plugged 0 in for x and we got a 10 for our y. Now, if we were going to do a quick sketch of that graph, we would draw an coordinate plane. This is our y-axis, this is our x-axis, and we would plot those 2 points. So 4, 0 is going to be right here, and 0, 10 is going to be 10 units up on the y, so 10 units all the way up. Okay, and then when I draw my quick graph, I can draw a line between those 2 points. 2 points make a straight line. That's my quick graph. Okay? Let's do another example. This time I just want you to find the x and y intercepts. So if I'm looking for an x-intercept, what do I plug in? I plug 0 in for y. So I go up to the original equation. Everywhere I see a y, I plug in a 0. And I solve this for x. So 4 times 0 is 0. Here I do need to write the 0 down because it's on the left side of the equal sign. Add 9 to both sides. 9 equals 3x. Divide by 3. X equals 3. So our x-intercept is 3, 0. Okay, now we need to find our y-intercept. So to find our y-intercept, we are going to plug 0 in for x. Always plugging in 0 for the opposite of what you're looking for. So 4y equals 3 times 0 minus 9. 3 times 0 is 0, minus 9 is negative 9. 4y equals negative 9. Divide both sides by 4 and you get y equals negative 9 over 4. So our our y-intercept is 0, negative 9 fourths. So we could take both of those x and y-intercepts, we could put them on a coordinate plane, and we could draw a line between those 2 points, and that would be a quick sketch of our graph. Now, why are x and y-intercepts so important? Because pretty soon, coming soon to a theater near you, is we are going to be finding the x-intercepts of this equation. And this is not a linear equation anymore. This is a quadratic equation. So we're going to also be doing that later on in the semester. So let's talk about the summary of what we did today, just to make sure that you know what you're doing. If you want to find the x-intercept, you plug 0 in for y, and you solve for the x. If you want to find the y-intercept, you plug 0 in for the x and solve for the y. So that is what we are doing today. We are finding our x and y intercepts by plugging 0 in for one of the variables. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thank you and have a great night.